another weekly preview. It's AK47 over at Tradecaster.com and Prime Trading Investments, streaming live each and every week and doing one-on-ones each and every week. Now let's go to last week real quickly. The weekly preview from last week. This week coming up, the February the 26th through March the 1st. Got a full week here. Now let's go real quickly back to last Monday when I released this. And do you remember what I said? Even the crazy week that we had ahead with SMCI, NVDA earnings. Let's listen to where I said the SPY's high of day for the week will be.
Watch for the pop easily, obviously, over 503.50 to 505. To me, 508.75 to 510 is a lock.
What did I just say? Bam, 510 is a lock. Now, look at this. Let's go 10 minutes ahead of time, which is really crazy. These are about 10 minutes apart. Let's go to NVDA high of the week if the earnings are good.
The levels to look for. If we're going 875, blowing through that to 775 up to 800, if not 825.
825. What did I just say? 820 freaking 5. Let's get into this real quickly. Charts. SPY. 510 over to NVDA. 825 to the dot last week, team. Now let's get to this week's plays. Back to the SPY. Earnings were good. Figured we'd go up to 500. Could even see 525 by the end of this run is what I kept saying. Well, here we go. Up, up, and away. Now levels for this week. Back under 507 here. 506.90. You can see that's pretty strong support. Bounce. Bounce, bounce, bouncing. Watch for the pullback in pre-market on Monday. Into the opening bell down to 506, if not 505.50. Could even see down to 505. Then below that down to 504.40. Under 504.40, a whole dollar down to 503.40. The original 52-week high that we created Monday before last. That's going to be a big move to watch for, into Monday, maybe possibly Tuesday. Now under 503.40, watch for the pullback overall down to 503. I think we could hit 501.40. 575, even down to 500. Now, overall, typically in a normal week, we only range about maybe $7 to $10. Last week was bigger, of course, because NVDA. I'm going to say my low of the week is going to be somewhere between 500 and 498.75. For the way back on up, watch over 508, 508.50, 75 area for the pushback up to 510. If we get over 510 next week, watch for the move through to 511.40, 512 or 511.50, 512.50 up to 515. Somewhere around 515 to 517.50 will be my ultimate high for the week for SPY. Now alphabetical time here. Apple, probably going to be a little choppy as it has been, but for those traders out there that like to trade it, under 182, back for the move down to 181.50 and 181. Could see down to that 179 mark that we've been talking about for quite a while. We'll go to the 4-hour chart there overall. You can see we have not cracked under 180 to 179 in this whole entire move up that we've made. I don't think we get any lower than that this week. But if and when and ever we do, keep that on watch under 179 right here in 180. This could tumble on back down to 175 and maybe even the low 170s. Secondly, for the way back on up, over 186 and 187 is going to be huge for the move to 189.90 essentially area. Over 190 potentially to 192. In my opinion, back to the 15-minute time frame, the ultimate high for the week, because it's going to be so hard to get back over 185 to 186, I think somewhere in there will be the high of the week. Somewhere in this area for the high of the week, somewhere down here for the low area for the week. Now, if and when we get over 186, 80, or 180, we'll call it 186, really, 185-ish, but 186, and back under 179, that's where the bigger moves are going to come from Apple. Now, over to AMD. We'll go to ARM next. Under 174, 60, 70 right here. Watch for the pullback all the way down to 172, potentially down to 170. Under 170 to 169.40, and then down to 168.50, 75 rule. Underneath that, could see 166. Under 166, do not be surprised if we do have a red week for whatever reason. We're up so high. Somewhere between 160 to 165, somewhere in this area will be about your low of the week. For the way back on up, over 177, your key area, you can tell, is 180. We cannot hold that damn number for whatever reason with AMD. It's been pretty hard. So, in my opinion, back under 170, good short. Back over 180, a good long. And your high for the week could take it over 184 if it's a strong week. We're a little bit closer than last week because of AMD, right? Well, of course, we had a big pullback on Tuesday into Wednesday. Of course, you remember that last week from NVDA and SMCI as well. So we are starting a little higher. I would go 185-ish or so for my high week. Kind of like 10 up, 10 down, maybe even 15 down. I'm going a little bit heavier on the downside because we are up so much overall on these plays. For ARM, I'm wondering if this is going to get back to moving like a slow and steady or mover. If you go back in time before the earnings report, this thing did not move much each day. You know, there really wasn't a ton of movement. Not a lot. Maybe $3, $2, $4, somewhere in there. For the way back on up, it needs to get over 135 and especially 140. You can see 135, it just has not gotten over and stayed. You know, if we close a day over 135, not just candles on a daily, you know, or I should say an intraday chart. We're talking about we close over that for like Monday, Tuesday, whatever day the close is over 135. Every day we're closing below it. If and when we close over it, watch for that pop over 140 to 145. This is moving a little slower. I am only going to say for the high of the week, if we get over 145, there's a potential to 150 and close to 155. For your low of the week, watch for 130 and 131 right through here, 130, 150, and 130 to crack. Below that to 125 and potentially down to 124. Somewhere between 124 and 120 would be your normal low of the week. It could see somewhere back in the 1-teens. Over to Meta here, team. So close, and I talked about this last Monday for the weekly preview for a move to where 500. We got so close. Now for under 482, got some room to run down to 480 and all the way down to 477, really potentially 476 before you get stopped up. Watch for that move on Monday or Tuesday. Under 476, in my opinion, could find its way through 476 down to 473.50, all the way down to right here about 470.75, where you can see these reversal areas from 471, 75, 85 area to 470, 85 area. That'll be crucial. Somewhere in that area will be my normal low of the week. The bigger low of the week will take it back down to 465 and maybe even the low of 460s. The good short right here out of the gate is 482.50, 482 essentially. We'll call it 482. For the way back on up, right here, right about 488.75, just cannot get over. Again, if and when we have a day, we close a candle over that for the daily, for a day chart, right? Not just a candle during the day, but the whole candle for the day itself closes over it. Then watch for that move up to 494.50. That's going to be my normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week, watch for a pop to 500 and maybe a tad over it if these plays do run up more. Microsoft on the way down does have a good shelf right here at 408.60, 408.50, whatever you want to call that, down through to 408, and under 408 down to 407.40. Under 407.40 down to 406.50, under that down to about 405. Under 405 down to 404. I will say because most weeks we only move about $10, I think we get one more pullback under 404, down to 402 and possibly 400. I don't know that we see the high 300s. We could. That is going to be my ultimate low of the week, somewhere around 400 to 397. Normal low of the week, somewhere between 404 to 400. For the way back on up, over 410, 411, watch for the move for 412, up to 412, essentially 413, 412.80. Thursday's high of day of last week. Over that, that's your key takeoff all the way up to Friday's high of day of 416. 416 will be my normal high of week. My bigger high of week will take it close back up to 420. And kind of what I'm anticipating through these plays, team, is we've moved so much, especially with earnings even last week. I could see maybe we don't. Like last Tuesday, where I thought we'd be a little stalemate. It was not a stalemate Tuesday. We had a lot of movement on Tuesday from some of these tickers from last week, even on Wednesday. But I'm anticipating a slower week. NVDA, your big short's going to be back under 775 and then 770. Under those areas, this could plummet all the way back down to that 745 area. Remember on Thursday when I was going live after earnings, I told everyone in chat where the bounce would be. I said, there's no way this gets lower than 740, 745. Shot up $80. Now, of course, I'm still in from the earnings at 668. So I'm still holding out 40 shares, if I'm not mistaken, still in this play. Maybe it's 30. I can't remember. Again, that to me will be my low of the... I still just don't think we get any lower than that 745, 740 mark. If we do, my ultimate low of the week will take it back down to 720 to 715. For your move all the way back on up, watch for the move to 790 to 800, over 800 to 810 or 805, then up to about 810, over 810 up to about 820, and then 825. Over 825, which will be my normal high of the week. I think we still move pretty good, but I think it's going to be a little herky-jerky through this area, back and forth. Bigger high of the week, we'll take it through 825, and we could easily see 850 for the week on NVDA. QQQ, setting up like a lot of these plays, sitting back down on support, so back under 436 here, 435.75, where we close that on after hours in Friday. Like the SPY, watch for maybe a pullback here to begin with the 435 and maybe even 434. in pre-market into the opening bell and afterward. Under that, we have more room to run all the way down to 432 and then down to 430, 140, 50 area here. Under that, down to 430, 50, and 430. Under 430, watch for the move down to 428.75. 428.75, normal low of the week. The bigger low of the week will take it lower than that 428.75 mark right through right around here. But you can see some lower shadows. Gets a little congesty through there. Watch for that pullback all the way down then to 425 area, 426, 425 for your bigger low of day or bigger low of the week. For your high and move back on up, we need to reclaim 438.75 ish somewhere through area, right? Failed at it. Failed a little bit above it, I know, but again, couldn't close the day above it. If and when we close over, we'll call it 439. Watch for that pop and surge up to 440.50. Until then, could get a little choppy. And I'll say overall, we may pop up to new ultimate highs, which will take it over to 440.50 area to 441.50, 442.50, and then up to 445. SMCI, the monster daddy here. Again, watch for another choppier, I won't say another, but pretty much another choppier week. Could go up, could go down some days. Some days down, some days up, some days both. As you can see, we had an up and down day, a couldn't figure it out day, an up day, and then a down mostly day, right? So it could be a lot of that. Your key short is under 815, down to 800, and under 800 down to 770, under 770 down to 750, and could see 700. Under 700 down to 665. I'll say 700 to 665 will be your low of the week. For your bigger move up, 875 is going to be huge in 900. If that, we do pop over up to about 940.50 area, then in my opinion up to about 960. Over 960 up to about we'll call it 85 and then to 1,000. It's hard for me to justify where I think the high of the, I think it is going to be a little choppier this week, but we have 5 days this week. So if we do go up, we could easily see 1,000. In my opinion, of course, these bigger days up to 1080. The bigger high for the week will take it to 1250. It may just continue to surge and do its own thing like some days it did where it was running just differently than AMD, NVIDIA, or whatever. It was kind of blowing up. So watch for that. And there's a potential move over 1080 to 1150, 1200. I'm not saying that 635 is the super low of the week. I just don't think it gets any lower than that because, in my opinion, this still stays afloat. Traders still want to see this move around and go up, not back down to 500s in my opinion. So I'll say 6 to 665, somewhere in this area, just because of how much movement it could have, will be your low of the week. I still am saying a little overall. And maybe we don't. Maybe we don't slow down quite yet, but there will be a moment, in my opinion, seeing where we do slow down a little bit more. Just right now, it's just been going crazy, honestly. Some of these plays have been and how high they're up. Tesla's been more of the choppier play, under 190 and 189.25. Watch for the pullback down to 187, potentially overall all the way down to 184. 183.30, and then down to 182. Under 182, watch for a pullback down to 181. 30-40, essentially a $10 overall move we could see on Tesla. It's been herky-jerkier. I doubt we get that. I'd say your bigger low of the week is down 10. Your normal low of the week, probably somewhere right around 184 to 183. Somewhere in this area. Your bigger low of the week will take it closer down to 180, 181. For your move back on up, the big thing you're looking for on Monday is this downtrend break. And again, you can see with a lot of these plays, they can't get over a certain number and hold it. Right around 198 is the key for Tesla. It's only had one real true day that we were over, and we were right back down below it. If we can get over 198 and hold it, watch for the pop to 199, 200. Could easily see 201. And somewhere in that $10 up, $10 down, I just don't see us getting out of that range yet. We're just not quite there on Tesla. We're getting there, but just not quite there overall, in my opinion. It still could be a little choppier. That's honestly why I didn't bring up Amazon. That's why I didn't bring up Google. That's why I didn't bring up some of the plays that NFLX is another one that I didn't bring up. Just a little choppier in my opinion. Now I will say Amazon here, and we're getting so close for this to shoot up, and I am finally going to get out some more of my long-term investment that I've been in for so long. So watch over that 175 and that area has been so crucial. If we get over that, in my anticipation this week, we could pop up to about 185-ish or so, 180, 185. Some weeks are stalemate like this week before last, where we did have one big Monday, but then we're just choppy, Tuesday through Friday. So we could have that one day where we surge up to 180, maybe a hair over it, and then chop around. Again, back down under 174 and 173. Then we're just back in this channel we've been in the whole entire time. But I will say watch over that 175 mark. Otherwise, small caps, I'm sure you've kind of seen this day in, day out. It's the same thing. Every day, team, watch for these small cap plays to give back gains. Here's my play on Friday morning with you all, UAVS. Of course, a couple weeks ago was a great short. But look at this on Friday. It is just so simple. Goes up. Look how quick that VWAP catches up with it. Remember, go watch my last 2 weekly previews and what I'm telling you guys what to be looking for. This play jolts up from 120 to 250. 100% move. That VWAP is instantaneously in its face. I said, team, back under, so you can see like the reversal where we came up, came down, bounced at 2, and flew to new high of day. That's letting you know it's a strong reversal area, right? Because we bounced on it and went to new high of day. Plus, it's below the VWAP. So I said, under 2, crack of that VWAP, watch for a short. Instantaneously went down to 180. Did go down to 170 before popping back up to the crack area, which you know you have a great short. And it literally hit 2 right on the dot. Look at the high on that candle. Look at the high. The high is $2 right at my crack zone. Came right immediately. I took a quick little break out of the office. It was so funny. I came back in. I was like, I didn't even see the dump. I just came back in. It was so funny. I was like, what? I really couldn't believe it. I was like, it's at 1. It was like 135. I forgot what it was at. And I was like, I thought something broke. It was one of those moments for once where I was like, what? Did it really just pull back that hard, that fast? I mean, you can see here in a 1 minute time frame even on Monday. On Friday, I should say. Came up. I took some shares right here. I think I was half out if I'm not mistaken. Came up. I saw it popping back up. I left the office real quick. Well, let's just see if it doesn't reverse it. That'll be right back in just a second. I think I had to do something with the dogs or whatever it may have been. When I came back in here, literally just over a minute later, right around a minute, right around there, because it was right around here and it was popping up. I came back down. I guess it was maybe in the 150s. Maybe it was 2 or 3 minutes later, because I know the next time I saw it was in the 130. So maybe I was gone for 3 minutes here, but regardless, you know what to be looking for here, team. VWAP immediately catches it. You can see the great reversal area off of 2 and went to new high of day. So I know if we crack the VWAP, which is so high up, and where we just reversed that is such a good bounce area, that if we go up 50 cents from it, we should go down 50 cents from it. We went 30 down pretty much immediately, and then we went down even further. So small caps, this is what you're looking for every single day. Lost boys, lost girls, see you on Money Monday tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your weekend tonight. Or if you're watching this on Monday, let's make some money today through the rest of this week. If you need any one-on-one help, been doing the one-on-ones through my website, Prime Trading Investments, for almost 3 years now. I've been doing the morning stock alerts since August. And you just heard those earlier, killing it. I guess actually that was the morning weekly with the weekly preview. But that's what we're doing. Weekly preview, you're getting that every morning. So what I'm doing right now today, every single morning I'm doing that for you and sending those out to you so you know what to trade, what I'm really loving to trade, and giving you super key levels. See you on Monday, team. Boom!